there, I'm Sierra Bailey with Doers, Shakers, Makers, and today we're going to talk about motivation, how to find it, how to get it, digging deep down and getting yourself motivated. All right, let's talk about the 5 things for you to get motivated to start on that project that you have been putting off. The first is to start doing a very small task that is part of it. Just start something. I'm going to illustrate today's Tuesday tip with my story about painting my house. I painted one room, but I'm very excited to paint more than one room. I already have the paint for the next room. Basically, I started procrastinating about the same time that I decided to paint the room, but finally, this past weekend, I had blocked out time. I knew it was time, and at about noon, I decided I just had to get started. So I just started taping off things. And it was basically that one little step that got me in there. It got me doing the first thing, and then I just kind of rolled on from there. A lot of the time, it's just diving in. It's just doing that first thing. And I will tell you, I am somebody that does not like to start things. So this is a common pattern in my life. And I find this first tip incredibly helpful. Just start. Open up that Word doc. Put on your exercise clothes and walk out the door. Just start. The second is if you have a big, daunting project or something like my painting the next room that is twice as large. Oh, there are so many steps. I started doing a timeline. So I started thinking, well, if this smaller room took this much time, and I started blocking out in my calendar and breaking down the tasks. Because breaking down a project into small steps, usually you just need to break down to the first 5 of those steps, and scheduling it out are all you need to get you going. This is great for work. This is great for personal. This is another way to get your brain starting to work on getting into the project. So then your brain is like, oh, aren't we doing this? We should really be doing this. We've already talked about all this stuff. Why are we not doing this? It is a wonderful way to, especially for those really big projects, stop being overwhelmed and understand just the first step that you need to take. Third is to the remembering. I don't usually like to be like the why, but really your goal, your why, your vision. Think about why you wanted to do this in the first place. What got you excited about it? What is making you really want to get it done? Think about that. That often will help you shift your mindset into the, well, if I do this, it's going to open this door. Or if I do this, it's going to make my living room more comfortable, or whatever the motivation is behind the reason that you wanted to do it to begin with. So tap into that and get yourself going that way. Fourth, we're getting a little deeper now. Fourth is starting to think about what's stopping me from doing this. Is it maybe a project that you had a really good idea about a month ago and is not really in aligned with what your business is doing now, or is not something you actually want to work on? It's okay to say, well, I've changed my mind and I don't want to do this. Cross it off the list. You don't have to do it. I closed a business after 16 years that was thriving and doing great because I just could not, no matter what I did for about a year and a half, find myself motivation to continue to do things. I had no love left for this business. It had kind of gone its course, served its purpose, made me really happy at times, made me cry a lot, but I was insanely fulfilled by it, and it was time to move on. Sometimes it's time to move on, but sometimes it's fear. And sometimes it has something to do with some sort of mindset block that you're having. Sometimes it has to do with, most of it rooting back to fear, but you don't want people to judge you, or you are worried that it will not be perfect enough, or kind of going back to the third thing that we've talked about, maybe you're not doing it for you. Maybe you're doing it to make your mom happy, or your husband or your wife or your partner happy, or your kids happy, and it's not your project. It's more their project. There are times, sure, when we do things for our loved ones that we care about, but there are times when you have to say, why am I not doing this? Because it's just really not something that I want to get done. So sit down and have a heart-to-heart with yourself. What's going on here? Why are you not working on this? Because sometimes figuring it out can make you understand how to work through it. And sometimes it can make you understand that it's time to let go. And the last is rest. First, the most obvious. Are you hungry? Are you tired? Are you thirsty? Are you maybe not having exercise in a little bit? Because if any of that's the case, you're not in a very mental great place right now. I mean, first work on that, because you're not going to want to do anything. If you're not getting started on something and you have one or all of those going on, that's where you really should start. But it goes deeper than that. Are you somebody like me that tends to not rest, to push and push and push and push and go and go and go and go and take on more and more and more and more? Because you could be in an actual situation where you have not been resting. And by resting, I do not mean taking a nap or getting a good night's sleep. I mean taking breaks, exercising intensely, in fact, vacationing, taking a sabbatical, enjoying a hobby, having time with friends and family where you're not thinking about work or projects or home improvements or things like that. Some of us love to keep moving. We keep going and going and going and going. Hey, I also like to sit down and read as much as the next guy, but I tend to not give myself permission to do that, which then often means that when I really am not feeling motivation to do something, I'm lacking on rest. I've not been giving myself permission to do things. And I have it as number 5 because when we push through and keep doing things, usually we're still going through 1 through 4. But the root problem of it may be that you're not allowing yourself a little bit of recuperation time. That could be going for a lovely walk with the dog for half an hour. That could be taking 2 days to go stay in a hotel in your town. That could be just closing your computer for a few hours or a few days or a few weeks and just giving yourself permission to not do things. So sometimes the best way to get things done is to not do anything for a little bit. If you've not been resting, think about that. Another great book, can't remember his last name, but it's Rest, R-E-S-T. And it goes into all of the types of rest. And it is an eye-opener. You start to really think about, am I absolutely thinking that if I go for a vacation, I'm going to get more behind? Or if I take time off every day to exercise, that it's time that I could be working? Because I say those things all the time. But in reality, they do help you have more motivation, and they help your mindset, and they help you get things done more because your brain and your body have time to recharge. So give yourself time to recharge, and you may be amazed at what motivation will come out of it. I hope this quick 5 tips, maybe not so quick, has inspired you next time you need a little motivation, a little kick in the pants. I'm Sierra Bailey with Doers, Shakers, Makers, and I'll be back here next Tuesday with next week's Tuesday Tips. If you enjoy it, please subscribe. Drop a note. But really, please subscribe. Much appreciated. Thank you again.